Namaskar. Good evening. I really like that green initiative. At the global summit we had 4 days ago, we did the green initiative and we gave a book on Vision 2020 to all our speakers and the faculty. But you went one step forward by planting trees where it's needed. So I really congratulate you for doing that. Thank you, Dr. Puri, and all the guest on the dais. AAPI is the American Association of Physicians of Indian origin. It started 32 years ago, and it started in United States. Few doctors got together to fight discrimination. But in 32 years, it has become the largest ethnic organization in the world, representing 100,000 physicians. With statistics of 1 in every 7th patient being seen by Indian physician in United States. Just recently, President Obama nominated one of our young physician member, Dr. Vivek Murthy, to be the Surgeon General of United States of America. Well, AAPI the members of API has continued to contribute by giving back in various forms to India. And now recently, for last 8 years, we have been collectively trying to give back by having a global summits, and we are trying to get doctors from all over the world. And the statistics is even amazing. When we put the Indian doctors together, it's 1.2 million doctors. And 25% of all the Indian doctors globally are Indian doctors. With that statistics in mind, the topic in hand is medical travel. You have so many ambassadors throughout the world. To make a medical travel or medical tourism a reality than what it is today, which it's already a booming industry, and it's going to continue to increase at 20% every year. But if you really want to make a medical tourism grow, the main thing we have to do is to market India. The first thing when someone decides to travel out of their home, they're going to decide on the country. Once they have decided that they, for any reasons, and we'll go into those reasons in more detail, once they decide that they want to do a procedure or a surgery somewhere outside their home, they're looking at where to go. The reason they will decide a country will be from many points. And India has all those ingredients. India needs to market a brand India. India, which has the history, India, which has culture, India, which has exotic destinations. That is number one. Number two, as we develop the medical tourism industry, the number two thing which is very important is to able to brand the Indianness. Being Indian is a cool thing right now. When the Miss America, the one who was chosen for the first time, was Indian. So don't be shy away from saying India. Being Indian is a cool thing. Everybody wants to know Indian culture outside. Everybody wants to know the Indian cuisine. Everybody wants to know what's happening in India. Don't forget, India is the largest democracy that's out there in the world. Number two, once we decide the destination, which is based on many things we talk about, and as you know, that you have ambassadors outside. The doctors, they're all over. The Indian diaspora is all over. Who speaks on your behalf? So you already have an ingredient outside that helps you with medical tourism. Next thing, when we look at medical tourism, is they're looking at, are we going to get an affordable, accessible, and a quality health care? So they're looking at, okay, in United States, as you know, the cost is it's booming. And that's why there is an Obamacare. But even Obamacare can't control the cost. And in the morning, we had an innovation session, and I made a statement that the cost effective, the accessible, affordable, quality healthcare solutions are going to come from innovations that's going to happen in India with the help of Indian diaspora all over the globe. When we talk about medical tourism, the medical tourism is attractive for a lot of countries. In Canada, there is a big waiting line. While for Arab countries, it's a natural choice because this is the closest destination and they can pay cash. They don't worry about insurance. So obviously, you're going to get more Arabian patients from Gulf than anybody else. Because if you want to encourage medical tourism from other countries, some other countries might be saying, will my insurance cover if I do my surgery in India? That might happen because if you can provide, and which is, in the future, I'm sure that's going to happen because the insurance might say, the Blue Cross Blue Shield might say that, if I'm going to pay 1/10 of my cost to get the same procedure or same surgery, I don't mind sending this patient to India. That might happen. But it's still not happening. The reasons are very obvious is they are worried about complications. Who's going to take care of the complications? If I get the surgery back home, the insurance is now stuck and that patient comes back to United States and that no doctor wants to take that patient because they may think, this is not something they made. So that handling the complication part, there is a issue of liability. That part is still we need to be looking at. We have addressed one factor though in India, that you do have 18 hospitals right now in India which are JCAHO accredited facilities. And so a patient who's coming from out of from United States or anywhere else, they're going to be looking at, how do I select? Once they selected that they want to go to India because it's just a cool thing to do, it's a nice country, then they're going to say, how do I select which doctor I'm going to pick and which facility I'm going to pick? And that's where the accreditation role comes in, and that might be an area where AAPI can help, as a lot of our physicians are involved in that process and may be able to voluntarily help you to get those standards. So once they decide the facility, maybe they are deciding based on this accreditation criteria, probably they are. Then they're looking at a doctor and say, how do I select this physician? There are a lot of these doctors around. How will I decide that I'm going to go to this physician in this city. Sometimes they may decide because, I'm from Baroda and I may decide I want to do my surgery in Baroda. I don't want to do it anywhere else, so I can stay with my parents. And that might be a decision factor. But most of the time, they are making decision based on qualification of a physician. Is that physician board certified? And now we have at least 400 API members who have returned to India. So they can see the same board certified physicians they will have anyway seen in United States. So as you see, the whole circle, there is definitely a value in a medical travel. There is some procedures are very popular, like a total knee replacement. That's a very popular procedure. Bone marrow transplant, some cardiac surgeries, cataract surgeries. Those are very, very popular surgeries that attracts medical tourism. The numbers are really overwhelming. If you see 2011, 850,000 people traveled and had their procedures done in this country. In 2015, it's supposed to increase to 3.2 lakhs. But this industry has an enormous potential if we put all the angles together. If we act from the education standpoint, from accreditation, market, brand India, this industry will grow by leaps and bounds. The another area where medical tourism has been very, very successful, and India has done a phenomenal job, is by providing a preventive executive checkups. I had my executive checkups because it costed me, 3,000 rupees, which was to do everything. I got everything done, everything what's needed for just 3,000 rupees, which is maybe $50, which is unheard of, right? So those kind of things are definitely growing. The medical tourism is a growing sector. The growth is almost about 30%. And if we play the cards right, it might really go up to numbers which you cannot imagine. API, as Indian physicians, always wants to give back and are available as a resource to make sure that we continue to work with you during the innovations part, education, accreditation, and nothing else but your brand ambassador staying outside India in United States. Thank you so much.